What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy, Dennis Nderitu, live at Nderitu Basketball HQ. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. So, we got the NBA Finals. I'm just so excited. So, earlier today, I was at my main man's, guys. Josh Carson, JC3, the baller, the YouTuber, the general. I hopped into his live stream race right after the game and yeah, man, just chopped it up with him and all that great stuff. So make sure to go to his channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to his channel. You'll see me on there. His channel is Josh Carson JC3. Make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel. That man is just doing great things out there. And yeah, man. So game one just happened, and it was a long time coming. I just like this game. I mean, let me just let me just make sure to send out this link. Make sure you guys can also join in the conversation because there's a lot of unpack. There was a lot of a lot of things to talk about. I mean, CP3, my man, just dropped 32 points. He did his thing. I mean, CP3 just did his thing, and that was that. I mean, that guy, man, he was unstoppable. I remember in the game 6 with the Clippers, Coach Monty Williams asked him, no, Coach, no Monty, no, not Monty Williams. Um, I mean CP3. CP3 was he was asking, should I slow down? Coach Monty Williams said, don't slow down, just keep on doing it. I mean that was it, and I'm so glad Giannis Antetokounmpo was back. I mean, we missed him from game 5 and game 6, and it was pretty it was pretty rough to see him go down with that injury in game 4 in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Atlanta Hawks. But I'm so glad there wasn't an injury in his leg. He was able to show up in game 1, but there were some growing pains in game 1 that the Bucks need to you know you know they need to work on some things. I mean, reintegrating Giannis into the starting lineup proved a bit challenging for them because he missed two crucial games that the Bucks had success in, and I mean that was that, and I'm so glad he's back. I want him to win the Finals MVP, and I feel like he has the ability, to push this series to at least 6 to 7 games. I just hope it's a 7 game series, seven game epic, and I feel I'm very confident they're gonna bounce back in game 2 to tie up the series. But without further ado, let me just go through this article by ESPN, and let me just go through it real quick. So, Milwaukee Bucks versus Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns ended the game 118 to the Milwaukee Bucks 105. Both teams just came in strong in every quarter. Milwaukee Bucks in the first quarter scored 26 points to Phoenix 30 points. Second quarter, Milwaukee scored 23 points to Phoenix Suns 27 points. So you can see it was a pretty tight knit game heading into the half. Then in the third quarter, that's when Phoenix Suns pulled away. Then Phoenix Suns just pulled away in this quarter because CP3 just went off, and Milwaukee scored 27 points. Phoenix Suns 35 points, and the Milwaukee Bucks scored 29 points, and the Phoenix Suns 26 points. So yeah, man. So let me just go through this article real quick. Paul CP3, Chris Paul carries the Suns past Giannis Bucks in NBA Finals opener. So Phoenix, Chris Paul waited 16 years to get to the NBA Finals, bringing with him a team starving for its first championship. You remember the Suns were in the finals in 1993, but that time it was Charles Barkley. But it was inevitable that the GOAT, Michael Jordan, just beat them. And I mean, the performance was the same old Chris Paul that we saw in Houston, we saw in the Clippers, we saw it in the New Orleans Hornets when they were that it was there at the time. the same performance he also saw when he was the OKC Thunder. Just knew he was ready. Phoenix forward Mikal Bridges said he is prepared. He has prepared his whole life for this moment, and he shows out there on the court. So Paul had 32 points and 9 assists in an NBA Finals debut that was well worth the wait. Devin Booker scored 27 points, and the Suns beat the returning Giannis Antetokounmpo and his Milwaukee Bucks 118 to 105 on Tuesday night in Game 1. CP3 scored 16 points during a sensational third quarter that had Phoenix fans who waited 28 years to see the NBA Finals again screaming in delight. So, CP3 in the third quarter he just went off, and the Phoenix Suns, he contributed 16 points out of the 35 points the Phoenix Suns scored. And this is the quarter that the Suns pulled away. Although the Milwaukee Bucks won the fourth quarter, it wasn't enough, because the Phoenix Suns were inevitable, and they had a comfortable lead. So yeah, every time he shoots it, we think it's going in. Booker said it's almost it. Oh my God, it almost did in the third quarter when Paul was 6 or 7 and made 3 3 pointers. I mean, this guy was hot. Finally playing for the title in the 16th season, the star point guard had the Suns in the NBA Finals only for the third time. I mean, and it sure looked like if they would make it, this ending different than the other two. So you can see the Suns are really hungry. You see, the Suns, they don't want to just make it to the finals. They also want to win it. Also, just a side note, I'm rooting for the Bucks, and I just want to see Giannis get that championship and push him to Hall of Fame status. So yeah, I'm rooting for the Bucks. But if the Suns just show up and beat the Bucks, well and good. I mean, I'm not accepting their defeat, but I just want to see the Bucks just go down or just go up with a hell of a fight. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 20 points and 17 rebounds after missing 2 games with a hyperextended left knee. Thank God it wasn't an ACL injury. Chris Middleton scored 29 points, but the Bucks will have to play from behind again after dropping game 1 for the third straight series. So I mean, the Bucks need to shake things up in game 2 and tie up the series. They need to do that. We know it's not gonna be easy. We know it's not gonna be tough. Chris Middleton said there are times where we are going to be down in this series, but this series isn't over. We are down. We've still got we've excuse me, we've still got to keep competing and just playing. So that's Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is pretty underrated. I actually feel like this is a player that doesn't get the credit he deserves. I've seen Moses on the banner. Let me just finish this article real quick. So just to gain some context from where we're going with the series opener was the first NBA Finals game in Phoenix since Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls won their third straight championship in here in Game 6 in 1993. The Suns, who came into the NBA with the Bucks in 1968, made their only other finals appearance in 1976. They hadn't even made the playoffs since 2010, and just 2 years ago, they were last in the Western Conference Finals with a losing record of 19 and 63. So you can see the Suns. This is the process. When you say trust the process, when the Phoenix Suns, when the Phoenix Suns saw the Sixers mantra and they said trust the process, the the guys who trusted the process were the Suns, not the Sixers. So Sixers was a well let down. Now 36 and a 10-time NBA and a 10-time All NBA selection. He is on the list of best players to never win a championship. That's CP3. I mean, it appeared he might never get to play for one until Oklahoma City dealt him to a Suns team on the rise, and he might be the final piece that takes them all the way to the top. So, despite so many debuts in the final stage, the Suns' Jay Crowder was the only player who had appeared in them, and that was for the Miami Heat in the at a neutral site in last year, the Orlando bubble, and they didn't appear to be as many first time jitters. So yeah, I mean, it's a long article, but let me just get Moses in, just to chop it up a bit. What's up, bro?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Oh man, what are we saying about that game? The Suns taking game one. That has to be a thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Suns just came in and balled out and did it. They just came in, and I can say, Giannis, he was reintegrated to the offense. He missed game five and game six, which were pivotal in that Eastern Conference Finals with the Hawks. And I feel like,
Mm.
there's some growing pains. Giannis has to readjust and be able to get back to his usual self the way we saw him. So, yeah, that's what I got to say.
Yeah.
What you got to say about that game?
Yanis for me, Yanis had a decent game. He just didn't do enough for his team because for him, for the Bucks to actually have a chance, Yanis, I don't know, he has to do his usual numbers, which is like, I don't know, 28 points and above. He had a 20, a pretty decent, efficient 20. But come on, if Yanis is doing 20 points, the team is not going to, especially with Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday was aggressive, but didn't have a good game offensively. So and the only guy showing up is Chris Middleton. So if the Bucks are to have a chance, Yanis has to come out, and we have to see the normal Yanis, the guy who's getting over 30. Over 30, he needs to get over 30 for the Bucks to have a decent game because the other guys, Brook Lopez had a pretty decent game offensively, even though defensively it was just terrible as usual. The Suns for me, the Suns came out and they took the blueprint from the Hawks. Just switching up on Brook Lopez and Devin Booker and Chris Paul keep taking turns with him. You know, taking him on every possession. It was very clinical and very it was like surgery. Very slow. They knew what they wanted to do, and they took a page out of Trae book, what Trae was doing to them in the conference finals with Brook Lopez. And yeah, Chris Paul.
Yeah,
Chris Paul was ready. Yeah,
yeah, true. Because I can say Devin Booker and Chris Paul were feasting on Brook Lopez. I
yeah,
mean, the mid
yeah,
range. They were just it's just a field day for those guys because they're just switching on to him. CP3, he does that behind the back on the free throw, bam shot. Every time I saw that play like several times, I'm like, nobody's gonna stop that. I mean, what's going on?
yeah. Yeah, and this was even worse than the Trae thing because Trae kept going on a pick and roll. These guys were taking him one on one, like just switching up on Brook Lopez and just taking him one on one. I'm going to score on you, step back, layup, mid range. Brook Lopez, I don't know. Wow, it was great to see from an offensive point of view and from a fan. Chris Paul for me. Wow, Chris Paul. This is what it looks like. This was what he was preparing his whole career for. What a performance for him! A very efficient performance, a very confident performance for him, and also helping DeAndre Ayton. I think the guards also really helped DeAndre Ayton have a fantastic game. DeAndre Ayton, this is his first playoff run, and he comes out in the final, has a 22 point and almost 20 rebounds. Chris Paul took his last rebound there when the game was ending, so he had 19 rebounds instead of 20 and 22 points. Very, very efficient also. So for the Suns, all their star players showed up. DeAndre Ayton 22 points, Devin Booker 27, and Chris Paul 32. They're not gonna lose if these guys keep showing up with this kind of points.
I mean, CP3, man. I mean, CP3 was made for moments like this. That's what I can say.
Yeah,
CP3, he's the point guard. I remember a while back, even before I came to the platform. We were discussing about these NBA playoffs. Then you mentioned one thing that really stuck with me, and this was this: if a team wants a championship point guard, CP3 is the answer,
yeah,
and this is the reason
yeah,
why the Suns are in the finals.
yeah.
What you guys say about that, bro?
The Suns are in the finals simple because they are playing team basketball. We all know before CP3 arrived in the Suns, this was Devin Booker's team. And for Devin Booker to kind of lower himself, bring himself down and be like, "Hey, CP3, you can play your game. I don't need the ball. I don't need to show guys how good I am." That's really helped the Suns and helped CP3 have the kind of game that we all know he's capable of having. So it's the reason why they are where they are, taking game one and also in the finals, because of team basketball. There's no one in this team that has an ego of maybe a James Harden type of ego, or maybe another superstar type of ego. There's no really superstar basketball from any one individual except maybe CP3 showing his talents. But other than that, the guys are playing team basketball. We saw DeAndre Ayton can't have a game like the game he had without the guards looking for him, giving him easy chances, looking for him constantly. If he's free, they give him the ball. Simple as that. So it's team basketball, and credit to their coach who really has drilled it into them, and each one of them accepting the basketball that they have to play. There's no really a LeBron James here, Kevin Durant, who even a Giannis who can really just who's like a superstar. Like really, CP3 is a superstar, but not like the top five, top 10 tier player. They don't have. They're really just going off team basketball and smart plays. They know their strengths and they're using them. Their strengths being the two guards who are really good in one-on-one situations, and they're not going to give a Jay Crowder the ball to score. They're not going to give Michael Bridges to do anything. They're going to be really effective and go for their strengths. Just use their strengths. That's why they are where they are.
I feel, just to add on to what the points that you mentioned, Moses. I feel
Yeah,
like the way CP3's game, the way it has been consistent throughout the years. He's the mid range assassin. I know the analytics guys really discourage taking mid range jumpers, especially when he was playing with the Mike D'Antoni, Daryl Morey Rockets. Remember, they really discourage mid-range shots.
yeah,
Guys like even the NBA media in general did not like that shot. They were saying that it was an
yeah,
inefficient shot, but this is an aspect that is very underrated on CP3 because you see Chris Paul, he knows how to orchestrate the half-court offense that the playoffs require. The playoffs, there's
yeah.
no transition
Yes,
plays as much. The game really slows
yes,
down, and that's where CP3 thrives when he
yeah.
can beat you in on the pick and roll and he slides on the mid range, bam, got it, it's in.
Yeah, CP3 ball is playoff ball. That's CP3 basketball, playoff basketball. You know, you're right. Playoff basketball is for the players who excel in half court basketball, who are really clinical and surgery like in the way they play. They're going to like look for ways to kill you. Who are really smart. The intelligent players are the ones that really thrive on playoffs. That's why we saw in the playoffs a player like Julius Randle not having a good playoffs. Because when it came down to playoff basketball, he couldn't just brute his way into a 30-point game, brute his way into 40 points like he did in the regular season. Because the game actually slows down, and you actually have to use your head, and you actually have to use your you have the coach has to like really think of a you actually have to have a gameplay, not just give this guy a ball and just do everything. You know. So yeah, that's why we're seeing CP3 thrive in the playoffs. Yeah, because of his
I
intelligence
mean,
and yeah,
we have to also give credit to CP3's basketball IQ because
yeah,
many
IQ.
many players don't many players don't understand how it's important to make the right play, you know orchestrate an offense, be the captain of a team. Not many people
Yeah.
understand that. That's why a guy like a Russell Westbrook, they're not able
Mm,
to succeed pretty well because they're not like a CP3. I mean, that's why
yeah.
he CP3 is on another level. That's why you gotta, I'm not, I don't want to compare him to Stephen Curry because Stephen Curry is a scoring. He knows how to score the basketball. But I'm
Yeah.
saying a guy who can. CP3 is a pass fast point guard. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows how to slice the offense, slice and dish it,
Look for the
find the
easy
open
show.
man. If
Yeah.
Yeah, look for the easy shots. So CP3
Yeah.
is a point guard, and NBA media before CP where before CP3 was contending in the finals, guys were saying CP3, his game is solid, but does he will he is does his game even evolve to at that level to get to the finals? I mean, this is the questions that are being answered by his finals run with the Suns because people wrote him off when he didn't make it to the finals in 2018 with James Harden, in
Yeah.
2019 when he was he was with the Thunder. They said no, CP3 can't make it. As much as this CP3 is mentoring these young players in the OKC Thunder, he doesn't have what it takes. Then in the Suns, for me personally, I was like, the best CP3 can do is a second round exit, but he's just proving us wrong. He's just showing us that he desired a certain caliber of players. He couldn't play well with James Harden, because I'm pretty sure James Harden wouldn't net in a finals game. I can't imagine if, even if CP3 and James Harden went to the 2018 finals, I would see LeBron winning that game, because I'm pretty sure uh, James Harden, not to slight James Harden, I like James Harden, but I don't think he can pull back for CP3 to do
Yeah,
what he did, like in this game one. He can't pull back, and that's why in 2019, if you watch the playoff game between the Warriors and the Rockets, there was a lot of pullback, and that's why they lost in 6 games. So I can feel like CP3 being surrounded by a guy like Devin Booker, solid role players, and Cameron Payne. Actually, Cameron Payne is pretty balling out pretty well. You've got a Jay Crowder, you've got
yeah,
a young guy, and DeAndre Ayton. I mean, pretty these are guys who are trying to put a footprint in. They got a 16-year vet who can guide them to greatness, and this is what it's all about, man. What you guys say about
yeah.
that, bro?
Yeah, you're right. In CP3 needed a team where he was the leader, and they could actually play the basketball like the way he wanted to play it, which was the intelligence, high IQ basketball. And you're right about James Harden and that Rockets team not, in spite of it being so really good, not reaching as far as we'd expect, which was the finals, not even making the finals, and kinda losing to the Warriors in a time where this was their best chance to reach the finals. But for me, the difference is James Harden. James Harden in the final, especially this game, probably against the Bucks, he would be looking, the way he would be approaching the game would probably be him trying to outduel the superstar of the other team, probably trying to outduel Giannis. That's how he'd be looking at the team. And you saw how Chris Paul talked about Game Six, the Western Conference Finals. He said his mindset was just, "I don't want to lose. I am not going to lose this game." That was the mindset. And if you probably think about James Harden's mindset and a lot of other superstar players, it's like, "Hey, I'm coming out here. It's James Harden versus Giannis." That's probably how he'd be looking at this game, and I'm going to duel him and show him I'm the better player. And things like that is why CP3's career was kind of stunted, even though people said here you are, you're paired with a superstar, now this is your best chance. But for him, we see with this Suns team, this is really his best chance, because this is team basketball. This is intelligent basketball. Even their coach actually, he's not a hard-headed guy like we've talked before with the likes of Doc Rivers and such. He's an open-minded guy and a very smart coach, and we're seeing them play excellent basketball. Yeah, you talked about Cameron Payne is had a very 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 efficient game. Yeah, he scored 4 out of 8. That was half. He had 50% scoring. He had a simple 10 points, but it was 50% scoring, and he brought a lot of intelligent play and that bench punch that they needed, together with Cameron Johnson also coming in with his own scoring 50% and 10 points, same as Cameron Payne. And the two Camerons actually held their bench up, held a lot of bench scoring. So they were able to get 20 points off the bench from two guys, which really also helped in them taking this game off.
Yeah, true, man. I mean the whole Phoenix squad just know how to mesh pretty well. And I actually and then one thing I have to say, right? I'm really right now I'm rooting for the Bucks to win, right? In 6 or 7 games. But the problem I have with the Bucks team is Mike Budenholzer not being able to make adjustments mid game, the end of games, the start of new game. I mean, will Mike Budenholzer be outcoached by Monty Williams? That's the question, because sometimes I feel like uh, the lineups that the Bucks keep on rolling out. We have to put Giannis, we got to put Chris Middleton, we got to put Drew Holiday, we got to put Brooke Lopez. Sometimes I feel like even mid games, I feel like Mike Budenholzer doesn't know how to draw up the right plays for a guy like a Giannis. to make sure to be able to use him to his highest potential. Because if the Bucks don't make the adjustments, they're gonna fall down 0-2, and I really want to see us. I don't want to imagine a scenario where the Suns are gonna pull off a Denver Nuggets series, which is a sweep. So I really don't want to see a sweep, because that would really crush me a lot, because I'm actually rooting for these Bucks, because I believe in these Bucks, and I believe in Chris Middleton. I believe in Drew Holiday. Although Drew Holiday didn't have a good game offensively, but I feel like if I'm going to be if I was a coach and I was coaching a guy like Drew Holiday, one thing I would tell him is this, bro: if the shot isn't dropping, try to number one, you're a very good defensive guard. You can be able to stifle the other guard from scoring like a CP3. You can try to stay on him, stifle him, and be a facilitator on the offense. And if he gets the open shot, he can take it. But he has to, if his shot isn't dropping, go to the other aspect of a game that matters: defense. Stay with this guy. Stay on this guy's hip. Make sure he's not switching off you, because every time I saw a switch, it's Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez gets cooked. Where's Drew Holiday?
Yeah.
Can't be seen. I mean, that's the issue. I mean, the Bucks need to adjust the defense to be able to curtail the offense of a CP3, over Devin Booker, and also a Cameron Payne. When he goes off, that guy can hit some threes, man. Some threes. He's a left-handed three-point shooter. He can just hit a three, and you might not see it coming. So that's what I gotta say. What you think about that, bro?
For me, I'm same as you. I'm rooting for the Bucks too. They're the more talented player. They have the. I mean, they are the more talented team for me. When you look at the starting five, they have a lot of potential. So like, yeah, they're the team that this is their finals for them to lose. And as for the Suns gameplay, whereby they keep picking out the Bucks big men, that's something that we've seen before, and that's so for me. I'm not really worried for the Bucks. That's why this loss hasn't is not really. I don't think it's they are really threatened by it. I think this is just them growing pains for them. So we've seen them adjust with the Hawks. The Hawks did this for them to them in the first games, kept picking out Brook Lopez and the rest of the big men, Bobby Portis, but they adjusted. So I'm expecting Mike Budenholzer to adjust. Same thing he did with the Hawks, and for them to kind of take over the series. So I'm not really worried with game one. Suns have been taking the game one ever since the playoffs began. They kept winning game one, game one, game one. So I'm not really worried for the Bucks. They're going to adjust. I have no doubt about that. And just speaking on Drew Holiday had a fantastic game in the Eastern Conference Finals, the last game. So starting out this game, I think I'm not really also worried about him. This was game one for him. Didn't have a good game at all, but and kept getting switched off defensively and kept. He's guarding. He's having to guard DeAndre Ayton, and DeAndre Ayton kept getting these easy baskets over and over again. So like they're going to adjust. The Bucks are going to adjust. Mike Budenholzer has done this before, and he's going to do it again. For me, my problem is Giannis getting the ball when the Bucks are bringing it up. We talked about the Suns having CP3 control the offense during the half court basketball. For the Bucks to delegate the ball to Giannis to control the half court basketball offense, I don't think that's them playing to their strengths. I think that's just them giving the ball to the best player, and I don't think that's effective. We talked about this before, and I don't know why they keep doing that. It's like they're kind of giving him the ball, and he's not a CP2. He's not a high IQ player for me. He's going to use his strength more when he gets the ball in the top of the key. So I don't know. Maybe they should think about adjusting that and kind of giving him the ball in the low post for them to have a chance. So I hope they adjust and do that.
Yeah, true. I also share the same sentiment, because the guy who's supposed to be bringing the ball up court is a guy like a Drew Holiday. He's the point
Yeah,
guard that he's that guy he's that guy who's gonna match up with a CP3, or you can also switch on to Devin Booker. Then you've got a Chris Milton. I utilize him in the backcourt as the
yeah,
two. but the number one is
yeah,
Drew Holiday. So the guy who is supposed to bringing the ball up court is a Drew Holiday, or sometimes a Chris Middleton. Then gives the ball to Drew Holiday. So Drew Holiday is the guy who's supposed to, orchestrate the offense. And I expect like a guy like Giannis to ask for the ball when he's maybe on the low post, and also ask for the ball maybe when he should ask for the ball when he's near the basket, because that's where it's most effective. But the problem I have with Giannis is, I mean, his bag is limited. I mean, he
yeah,
doesn't have the footwork. He doesn't have the footwork like a Hakeem Olajuwon. He doesn't have the
yeah,
the footwork of a he doesn't have the shooting of a Kevin Durant. So giving him the ball up court is not an option. Bringing the ball up court is not an option for Giannis, because he's just gonna give it up to another guy like a Bobby Portis down the stretch. Then he asks for the pick and roll. He sets a weak screen. He rolls over. Maybe it's a missed dunk. The ball gets turned over. It goes to the other team. It scores a basket. So that's the thing that I keep saying, and it really hurts me as a guy who's rooting for the Bucks to watch, because that's the same way the Bucks were killed in the 2019 Eastern Conference Finals by the Kawhi Leonard led Toronto Raptors team. That's what they
yeah,
did. I mean, I also remember Brook Lopez also had a monster game in that series, the same way he had a monster game in this other series with the Hawks. So I feel like a guy like Giannis should be played in the five. I
yeah.
feel like
Definitely, definitely.
he's not a good guy at the four, because he doesn't know how to okay, he has the length, for that position, but he doesn't have the
Yeah,
the skill to defend that position. So that's the problem with, and that's what's killing the Bucks at this point. Because if they're not gonna get an answer for DeAndre Ayton down low, as much as DeAndre Ayton, he doesn't have a playoff experience like a Giannis or even the whole Bucks team,
yeah,
because this is his first
yeah.
time. So a guy like DeAndre Ayton, if you let him feast down the low block, and you got a guy like Giannis or a Brook Lopez who's getting cooked and can't stop him, the Suns are gonna win game two, and it's not gonna be a good look for the whole organization, the Bucks franchise, if they go down 0-2 like that. So they need to make the adjustments to be competitive and get back to the series. We need to get back to the series ASAP.
And there was this play. I don't know if you saw it. Yanis got the ball and and DeAndre Ayton was the one guarding him. He just took him on, bumped him, and then over him. I don't know if you saw that play. It was like, Yanis can actually run with this guy. This is a center. This is DeAndre Ayton, a center. Yanis is a quote unquote power forward. And he actually took the ball and took him on and dunked over him. And I was like, wow, so he's capable of actually playing with him. It's not, it won't be a mismatch if the Bucks were to adjust and kind of let Yanis guard DeAndre at the five. So for me, Mike Budenholzer has to adjust. I think that's an adjustment
I
that he
mean,
could maybe think about doing.
the Bucks team has what it takes to make this series competitive. But the problem is the lineups that Mike Budenholzer is putting. He's going to get out coached again by Coach Monty Williams. That's the problem. They don't know how to make the good lineups to match up with the guys on the court. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna get mismatches. You're gonna get fast break points. You're gonna get scored on. Like a guy like Devin Booker can even drop a 40 piece if he gets his good looks, and it's not gonna be a good look for the team if he does that. So I mean, they need just to
For me,
fix the offense.
Yanis has to play like the Devin Booker role, kind of delegate, be like the second guy, play like the second scoring guy, not like the first. The way Devin Booker has let CP3 play his game, and he's seen that CP3 is that guy, and he can actually score these points, and he's actually giving him the ball, letting him take over. That's the same thing Yanis has to do for me, for the Bucks to have a good chance. For him, getting the ball should be nearer to the rim, nearer to the basket, so he shouldn't be the one on top of the key, so that the Bucks can actually play some good basketball and allow and play with someone who's like a Drew Holiday on top as the point guard. Is more intelligent, I think. We've seen him make a lot of intelligent play, especially for that game that Brook Lopez had a really good game in the Hawks series. That was True Holiday feeding Brook Lopez over and over again, and him just being aggressive. So that's the route that the Bucks need to take, and I believe Mike Budenholzer is going to do that. I have no doubt. I do not doubt that he's going to adjust, and yeah. So that's what we'll be looking for in game two. Will Yanis actually get some minutes at the five? Will Brook Lopez kind of sit out, not get as many minutes as he normally does? And also Bobby Portis was another one. Brook Lopez got into foul trouble, and Mike Buden also brought in Bobby Portis. But Bobby Portis came in, and he kept getting the same treatment as Brook Lopez was getting. So I don't know if that's actually doing them any good. You know, when Brook Lopez gets injured, and they could really use Brook Lopez on offense compared to Bobby Portis, because Brook Lopez had a great game offensively for me. He shot 7 of 14. That was 50%. He had 17 points. Maybe he could have scored more if he didn't get into foul trouble. So Mike Budenholzer has to
Yeah.
kind of tinker with his lineup, whereby he could use Brook Lopez's offense and kind of use Giannis' defense at the five. So we're hoping to see that at game two for us to see a very competitive series over here.
Yeah, man. I see there's another person on the chat on the panel. Let me just let him or her introduce themselves. The mic is
Yeah,
free.
BC. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah.
you pretty well.
Cool. I'm BC. I was watching the game this morning. I don't have much to say about the game, to be honest. I feel like it's still early, but I want the Suns to win. I'm a Houston fan, but I like the Suns because everyone just stands up. I think that's what I've been missing in the teams that I've seen Houston put out through the years. There's no teamwork, so I feel like everyone just to stand up for the Suns, and it was a good game, but it's still early days. I feel like if if Bucks should drop PJ Tucker, because PJ Tucker I think is the worst player on the court every time I watch the Bucks play, because he has no offense. He gets he gets put on certain players, like he got put on who KD didn't do anything yesterday. I don't know what his role was, and I think he should be dropped for Connaughton before the before it's too late. Actually, that's actually the only opinion I have, to be honest. That's the only thing that can make this thing enjoyable for me, because I want this game,
Uh,
this series to this final to go to Game 7. I don't want the Suns to win too early. I don't want Suns in 5. And I feel if PJ Tucker gets dropped, this game will be more. Yeah, this final will be more interesting. To be honest, that's the only thing I have to say. Everything I have to say, you guys have already said it well. CP3 is a beast. Everyone's playing well. Looks good for the Suns so far, but Tucker needs to be dropped. Yeah, that's all.
for you saying that your Rockets team, there's a lot of Rockets playing this Suns team, especially in game one, whereby they were playing a lot of iso ball and 3 pointers. A lot of their players were shooting the three, and
Yeah,
Devin Booker and CP3 played a lot of iso ball on their big men. So I saw a lot of Houston Rockets team with James Harden in this Suns
yeah.
team, especially in game one. So yeah, so I understand you being a Suns fan, especially after that game. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we actually want to see a long series, all of us. Even me, I'm hoping to actually gets to game seven. So the Bucks have to win a couple of games for us to see this big game seven game. That we all want as fans. Even though I'm a Bucks fan.
Pat needs to play. That's the only thing.
Pat had a good game, especially with the three ball. He actually shot the three ball well. And PJ Tucker, I see you're not a fan of PJ Tucker.
What did he do? He was the best corner point shooter in the league. That was with us.
Yeah,
Now, like,
yeah.
what's his role on the court? That's my question. What's his role on the court right now? If there's a role, he's
Uh,
not playing.
the PJ Tucker has always been, a defense fast player. That's why I think the Bucks traded for him. He's a good 3 and D player, so that he shoots the three really well, and he's the number one defender. He's going to defend the number one guy in the other team. And unfortunately for this game, the Suns kept on switching to the big. So PJ never actually was defending any of the Suns' best player. That was CP3 or Devin Booker. So he was left defending some other guys. So defensively, they couldn't really use him. And but actually, for me, PJ Tucker is number one, first and foremost, a defender. So that's why he could probably get the game over Pat Connaughton.
Yeah, true. But he's not
Yeah.
defending, man.
The Suns had a gameplay where he was very ineffective defensively, which is his strength. So credit to the
Yeah.
Suns for actually show playing great offense and exploiting the Bucks defense. But the Bucks overall is a good defensive team. If you look at the whole team, Drew Holiday is an excellent defender. Chris Middleton, excellent defender. Yanis, he was defensive player of the year. PJ Tucker. The only guy probably is Brook Lopez, who is not a good defender. I was to say. But yeah, the Suns gameplay was so good that it made the Bucks look like they wasn't playing defense. They didn't have a good game defensively.
Yeah. I feel like Suns will actually go ahead and win game two. They're going to
Yeah,
they ought
yeah. Come again.
like they've been the formula. The Suns always control these throughout the series. If you watch the Suns, they always control the first and second games,
Mm,
and that is
Especially the first game.
yeah.
Yeah,
And statistically,
yeah.
like 70% of the teams that win the first game always go ahead and win the championship. I know.
I'm a Bucks fan, but I'm kind of rooting for CP3. I want a lot of us basketball fans want CP3 to get that ring. But for me, if I'm looking at both teams, I think the Bucks are the more the more experienced, more talented team. If you look at the starting fives, of course we can all root for CP3, but I think that the Bucks are going. That experience for the Bucks is going to come through in the end. They're going to take the championship. So yeah, that's my team. They're going to adjust in game two. I'm Bucks are going to take game two for me. That's what I'm saying. Yanis won't have the game that he had. He had a pretty, decent game, but wasn't his numbers. He had 20 points, which is, if Yanis is scoring 20 points, the Bucks are going to have it really hard to win the game. Yanis has to
Yeah.
score, his usual over 28 points, at least 28 points. So, I think he's going to come out in game two, and he's not going to have another 20-point game, or, he's going to come out and have a big scoring game at least.
Yeah, true. What I can say this, bro. I mean, the Bucks need to, I see this. I see BC doesn't like PG Tucker. PG Tucker was acquired by the Bucks because of his 3-point shooting. The Bucks needed some floor spacing and also some defense to go along with it. And the Houston Rockets, they're in rebuilding mode, so they traded everybody. So they just dumped PJ Tucker to the Milwaukee Bucks, and actually he fit into the offense pretty well. So I feel like if PJ Tucker doesn't hit those threes, there's those kind of threes that he's known for. I mean, that guy shoots like 47% from the corner. He has led the league multiple times in those made threes, and it's gonna be a very tough ask to see him, step up and guard like a guy like a Devin Booker or something. I'm trying to see, but PG Tucker right now, if he doesn't shoot those threes, he's gonna ride the bench for the whole series. So I expect him to come off the bench. So no, and I don't think he's gonna play more than 25 minutes. If I was the coach at that time. So what you guys have to say about
Would
that?
would you take Bobby Portis over PJ Tucker? Is that a lineup that you'd want to see? Is that too big?
I'll have Bobby Portis. No, PJ Tucker. No, limited minutes. Limited minutes for that guy.
If you
I
if you're
wouldn't give
benching
minutes
PJ
for.
Tucker, if you're benching PJ Tucker, who's the guy taking most of his minutes then?
Uh, at this point, I'm not sure. If it's
But
Because if you're
Bobby
giving the
Portis,
minutes, yeah. If you're giving the
If it's
minutes
a,
to Pat Connaughton, that's a very small lineup that you're going to be fielding.
I mean,
Now
that's what I'm
you're
saying. I can't give Pat Connaughton because he's not big. I mean, we need a guy who's gonna the thing is, for guy for Giannis to be successful, for me, in my personal opinion, I rather the Bucks play him at the five spot because it's more effective at the five. At the number four, I can't put up Pat Connaughton because he's not a four. He doesn't have the size, so I rather put up Bobby Portis right there in that slot because and I'll have like Pat Connaughton coming off the bench for two at the two for Chris Middleton maybe. Yeah, that's what I would do. I wouldn't have him go to that position.
PJ Tucker for me. If you're putting Yanis at the five, PJ Tucker for me has to be at the four because I don't know about putting Bobby. Bobby is actually, if you're playing Bobby Portis, he's got to be the five. I don't see Bobby Portis being a four. I don't know if he can play the four. If Bobby Portis and Yanis is on the court, Yanis is definitely going to he's not going to play the five and let Bobby play the four. It's going to be the other way around. So for me, the lineup with Yanis at the five, it has to be PJ Tucker at the four, and of course, Drew Holiday, Middleton, and maybe the other guy could be, yeah, we could probably bring Connaughton there, Pat Connaughton. So that's the lineup with Yanis at the five for me, which I'm hoping to see
And
more
also
of it at game two.
Yeah. But you know what?
and also you forgot we had yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Nah, I just want to digress just a bit, but uh, I feel like Bucks are the more talented squad. Like they're the better squad.
Yeah,
But
of course.
the problem with Mike, he doesn't have in-game management. Like you can go into halftime knowing the Bucks will lose this game. That's the problem with, and that's what I want the Suns to capitalize on. Like there's no in-game management from Nani, so when he doesn't get it right now, he won't get it right during the game as the game goes on. I feel that's the biggest weakness with Mike. He needs to go, but
I mean, we saw with the Hawks series him actually the Bucks going down. I don't the Hawks taking the first games, and we were thinking, wow, is Mike Wooden also going to adjust? But we saw the Bucks actually finish the Hawks off pretty well, and it was a good adjustment by Mike Wooden. Also, I'm hoping to see the same in this finals. So yeah, in game adjustments, we haven't seen more of in-game adjustments by him, but I'm hoping that yeah, he does what he did with the Hawks team. Even though you can't compare the Hawks with the Suns, this is a whole different team and a whole different level for him. So yeah, I'll be looking out for that in game two adjustments.
Just to echo on what BC just mentioned, that this is the point I just kept mentioning earlier. I mean, the way that BC has just put it in game management. That's the same thing. I just want to iterate it on it further. Mike doesn't know how to call these plays. You as a coach you have to inbounds plays like after a timeout plays, like you have to adjust some of your rotation within the game, not necessarily like you have to wait for the game to end, but within the game as you're moving, even if you're leading, you have to make those adjustments to be able to get an edge on the other team. This is a problem that it's gonna cost the Bucks if they don't fix it, because if they don't fix it, the Suns are gonna win game two. And I don't feel comfortable. I don't trust the Suns then with a 2-0 lead, because you know what happened to the Denver Nuggets in the Suns and four guy. So I don't want to see a scenario. I don't want to wish for a scenario where the Bucks are down 0-2, because with the Nets series, the main stars went down with injuries, but this time it's a whole different beast. CP3. Although CP3, if you guys watch the game closely, there's this time CP3 was going in for a three, and Brook Lopez, he overreached. He put his leg, and CP3 was landing. I was actually hoping and praying CP3 doesn't get injured. He actually fell awkwardly on his ankle, But yeah, I feel like if that went the other way, I'll just break because CP3 injuries have really held him back from getting to that level. So I just felt great that he's back. I just pray for a healthy playoff series. Something that we have not had the chance to experience in this postseason. So that's what I gotta say about that.
That it was scary when Brook Lopez kind of bumped into CP3 and it looked like CP3 had twerked his ankle. That was scary to see because we know CP3's history with injuries in these crucial games. He did it happened with the Clippers and it happened with the Rockets. These crucial games where the team really needs him and then he kind of gets this weird injury where he can't really help his team. And it happened with the Lakers in the first game. When CP3 was kind of having these shoulder problems, I actually thought that was it for the Suns. The Lakers are going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
finish
yeah.
them off, and then he actually came back and yeah, I did this thing, and they beat the Lakers. So I'm also praying for a healthy CP3, and it was good to see Giannis back. Giannis, I don't think even if Giannis is not 100%, he's not going to sit out this finals. This is what he's been working at all those years ever since he was drafted back when he was before developing into the player he is.
2013.
He's not going to miss the lines. Yeah, 2013. Yeah, that was 2013. So yeah, I'm hoping for the everyone to just be healthy and for us to see a very long series. I'm not hoping for a fast series. I don't want it to end quick. I'm hoping for a game seven because as a basketball fan, first and foremost, before being a Bucks fan. So yeah.
BC.
Uh, yeah, I'm hoping for a game seven, man. But I need the Suns to win, and I need Mike to bottle it, man, because his in-game management is so poor. But if he gets it right every time, the Bucks are definitely going to win. The Bucks are the favorites for me, but I need the Suns to win for the sake of CP3. I have so much PTSD when it comes to CP3 because he left Harden all alone, man. Say back, but it's okay.
No, the Rockets forced their hand on CP3. Not he didn't leave. He was traded for Russell Westbrook. So it's the franchise that
Yeah.
traded him away.
Yeah,
He didn't
Yeah.
leave. He actually signed and he was forced out. Yeah, I mean the franchise, the Houston Rockets franchise, just basically swapped him for Russell Westbrook. That's what
yeah.
happened, bro.
Yeah.
And Russell was so useless, but yeah, and yeah, pretty much it. Actually, this week, what has been on my mind? I don't know about. Been checking out this Rachel Nichols situation. I think Rachel is a great,
Yeah,
great,
sure.
and it's really bothering me because she was protecting her job, but then again, ESPN need to save face. I think ESPN is just going to the gutters, to be honest.
Mm.
Yes, I don't like the way they deal with everything. Everyone just wants to leave ESPN now because yeah. So it's been a very interesting situation to. But I think Rachel Nichols is always the best person for the job, pitch side, court side.
Yeah,
That's
man.
my
I mean,
statement.
just ESPN has okay. Let me just quote what ESPN just via ESPN's statement. ESPN has removed Rachel Nichols as a sideline reporter for the 2021 NBA Finals. She'll be replaced by Malika Andrews. So, just, I mean, I wasn't following this thing as much because I just wanted to stick to basketball as a game. But I mean, it's just a messed up situation. A while back we had the situation with Paul Pierce with
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Instagram live that he got kicked out of I don't remember what show it was, but I think it was ESPN affiliated. I'm not sure, but he got axed out. I mean, we've got guys who are down bad, like Stephen A. Smith, who when he makes a statement, he has to apologize every time. This time I remember it was so like emasculating for Stephen A. Smith as well when they remember in 2016 when KD made that move to Golden State. It
Oh
had
my
the
god.
whole NBA world. It had the whole NBA world and frenzy when you got guys like Stephen A. Smith saying that was the weakest move ever made by a superstar. Then in 2017, ESPN forced Stephen A. Smith to apologize to KD's mother live on air. when they replayed that clip, then they forced him to
Mm.
apologize. I mean, it's not good. I mean, sometimes I feel like these big networks, they really, they can really break you as a person and your principles, and
Yeah.
they put your integrity on the line, and they're willing to, throw your integrity under the bus, especially when it comes to such an issue. So with the Rachel Nichols situation, I mean, ESPN are just saving face. They don't want to look bad. It's a business at the end of the day, and with that situation, they're losing money. So it's better they cut that situation and let it die than let it fester and hurt their brand. So if Rachel Nichols, she has to go, she had to go.
I think on their part, kind of kind of not allowing Rachel Nichols to cover the NBA finals. I think it's something that I feel they had to do, and yeah, it's definitely a miss. Nichols is someone that we all enjoy when she covers the NBA. I think she's still going to be hosting the Jump, which is this show that she does, but she won't be courtside anymore, and that will be a big miss. But yeah, it's just them saving face and doing what's best for their brand. But I don't foresee any long term. She's very beloved by ESPN. I don't see any long term repercussions for her. I think she's still going to be around, and she apologized, so that's also a thing that's going to help her cause. So next season she's going to still be around, and yeah, this will all be forgotten, hopefully.
Yep.
I mean, just to gain some oh, sorry, BC. Let me just get back to you real quick. So just to gain some context on what really happened. So I just stated earlier, she got replaced by Malika Andrews. So this situation comes days after Nichols, in a private later leaked phone call, called out ESPN for trying to replace her with Maria Taylor. Nichols said she doesn't deserve to lose her spot over an NBA newcomer just because ESPN was trying to diversify the NBA coverage. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Let me start with BC because BC was next. So what you guys say about that, bro?
I think she was right, man, because she was protecting her job, first of all, and I can't fault her for protecting her job. It's her job. And he actually called them out on their BS. And there was someone who was speaking to her. I don't know the guy's name. He was saying that he gets so much pressure from this Me Too and BLM stuff. And I think she was actually just calling them out on their BS. And it worked out badly for her. But so she didn't do anything wrong for me. And I don't know why she's the one being, she's the one taking the hit at the end of the day. Really needed her in this finals. And yeah, so I just think she was protecting her job. She was right and
Then
came off the way, I guess.
yeah, I mean, then we got
You
guys
know,
like Steven Jackson coming to Rachel Nichols' side. Then the black community is throwing shade at Steven Jackson for siding with Rachel Nichols, other than siding with
Jimmy
Maria
Butler.
Taylor. So it's a sticky situation at that point. And Steven Jackson is all in for the BLM thing. So Moses, what you guys say about that, bro?
Rachel Nichols. We all know Rachel Nichols for basketball first and foremost, NBA. So I think her core role was that Maria Taylor she's known for covering football as long as basketball, but she's not really known for covering the NBA basketball as much as football, American football. So Rachel Nichols was saying that she's getting replaced by Maria Taylor so that ESPN can kind of have a diverse kind of cast in the NBA, because just kind of mixing it out, having black people with white people. So that was something that she was calling out. They are kind of taking her out so that Maria Taylor can come and be, they can look diverse as a unit. So it's something, she have been on the inside. This is something that could be true, something that she could have noticed or heard or even been told by someone. So you can't really say that it's not true, and kind of say that it's something that could have happened, and Spain could have done it with that in mind. So for her, she's just speaking her mind, and it's unfortunate that it was recorded and she's suffering repercussions, because you really can't say these things out loud. You can tell a friend, you can tell guys from the inside, but you really can't tell. You really can't say it on air, or she kind of tell the whole world. So yeah, she might. Yeah, for me, for me, it's, you have to say, you have to speak your mind, and if that's what she thinks, because it's true, Maria Taylor, the lady who replaced her, she's not known for covering NBA. So for her to kind of come and take Rachel Nichols' place, you have to wonder, what's up with that. So yeah.
And I mean that situation was actually, Rachel Nichols, the way she was being replaced, it was hurting her bag. She was trying to defend her bag. It's all about business. So when you're removed from a position that you can make more money, it really stinks. And when she called when she mentioned that it's hurting her bag and ESPN what they're doing, okay, Rachel Nichols was in the NBA. She was covering NBA games for a long time. So removing her from that squad and removing her from that payday, it really rubbed her the wrong way, and that's why she mentioned that. And also, I don't like the way ESPN are trying to make it a diversified thing. It's about basketball. It's not about black versus white thing. There's no black versus white thing in you just have to put a black guy inside there. No, it doesn't matter. Just cover the game. If it's your profession to cover the game, it doesn't matter what color you are. Just make sure you just cover the game. We don't need you to just bring in a black person just to make sure there's diversity. We don't need that. Just cover the game because you're covering the game. The game is not for black guys. Game is for everyone. So, BC, we're on to you, man. What you guys say about that, bro?
Yeah, man. Like, was there really a need for affirmative action in quotes? As it was bad timing and it looked bad. And yeah, me, as I said, man, it's such a big loss to to have someone like Rachel Nichols, like not courtside where I'm used to her. She has so much. She always has drama following her. She has a good insight of the game. She understands the game, and she's the best. She's like up there. She's the best. She's someone you want to listen to. I don't want to listen to Maria, and I don't know, man. I
They're
just
putting.
associate Maria with
I
another
mean,
sport.
they're putting that lady just because she's of a different color. I mean that whole thing. That whole thing. That whole inclusion, or let me say, like,
Mm.
they want to put everything. It's really hurting the
Diversity.
business, and that's why
Yeah.
that whole
You remember
diversity thing.
when
It doesn't sit well with me. I don't care about
ESPN had
diversity.
Remember ESPN
They
having
just
having Stephen A going to cover the MMA match, and they had this big beef with Joe Rogan. Like Stephen A doesn't understand. He's not the person you want covering. He
Yeah,
understands the sport, he's not the person you want covering. Because Stephen A, okay, ESPN was like Stephen A will bring views and all that to the MMA, and Joe Rogan was so pissed because you don't want Stephen A covering the UFC. As in, come on, man.
he doesn't know
uh,
anything about the UFC.
when it comes down to it, SPN is just trying to, it's this thing where they want every race to feel like they have a representative over there. They just, which is kind of bringing a lot of politics into the, sports. People just want to enjoy their sports and watch their sports, and they're really just politicizing it with all this stuff. Here's to hoping that this thing will end as soon as possible, and we'll have the same roster back next season.
I mean, this whole thing, it all started with the Black Lives Matter movement last year. The NBA suffered they lost a lot of revenue, especially from siding with this Black Lives Matter movement. They lost a lot of money. When the report said that these guys lost a lot of money because they tried to politicize the league, and many people didn't want to tune into that. I mean,
A
so
t-shirt like that.
when this situation of Rachel Nichols, it was a pretty messy, it was pretty sticky. I mean, this whole race inclusion, it's actually race motivated. I mean, ESPN is trying to, include more black guys. I mean, I don't. Okay, whatever they're trying to do, this the decision. The powers that be, they have to do whatever they have to do. But when I'm coming to basketball, I don't care if it's a black guy or white guy reporting. I don't care. I mean, I'm just there to watch the game and appreciate greatness. When some people just come in and just, spoil another lady's bag just because they just want to put another person who of a different race there, it doesn't sit well with me. Actually, it's pretty distasteful for me. and now it beats the whole logic of professionalism in sports reporting and sports coverage because Rachel Nichols she knows how to do her job. She's the best at it. She reports things that many people find entertaining and can relate to. So if you replace her with another person, it's right now it was so bad until they had to put Malika Andrews inside. So I mean, even Maria Taylor didn't get that position. So I mean, and is it just me or Malik Andrews is also black? So I don't know what's going on at this point. So,
They just had to.
Yeah, yeah. I think they just ruined
to
everything. Just ESPN just ruined everything for no apparent reason. And it's like tuning into a Lakers game and not being able to see AD play. That's the same thing with the NBA losing Rachel Nichols at courtside. You want to see the stars. She's a star in whatever in her career, in her what she does. She's a star, and people enjoy listening to her and having her cover the game. So for her to be missing, it's a miss. It's like missing a superstar on court for the NBA fans.
yeah, true,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, yeah, BC, go ahead, go ahead.
And I was just thinking, like, we should wrap up that Rachel Nichols story because I just thought about something else. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, go ahead, go
I've
ahead.
been, yeah, I've been seeing Scottie Pippen, go at it with Stephen A on Twitter. Scottie was saying that LeBron won all the. Like, Scottie has so much to say these past 2 weeks. I don't know if his book is out
Oh
or.
yeah, I mean, here we go again with the Scottie Pippen situation. This guy just can't shut up. I mean, Moses, you remember Moses? We talked about Scottie Pippen, what he did, right?
Yeah,
He he
yeah, we
he,
did.
he
We
took he took shot. The first thing is he took BC. Look, Scottie Pippen took shots at KD. He
Yeah,
took
yeah, I
shots
had
at
that.
he took shots at this coach, their coach,
Phil Jackson.
the coach for the Phil
Phil
Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah,
And right now he's talking things about Stephen A. Smith. I mean, it just doesn't make no sense, bro.
he is burning a lot of bridges. He is burning a lot of bridges for I don't know what reason. Could it be a book? Could he be coming
He's
out with his
promoting.
book?
Yeah, I think he needs to promote his book, and he really wants. It really bothers him that the narrative is all about MJ, 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 and it's not about him. And he just wants now to control the narrative for once.
I mean, this guy is getting he's settling for infamy. Infamy is a poor substitute of being famous because like people will know you, but they won't like you. And you're giving, and still Scotty people know what he's doing. He's giving more ammunition to guys like Skip Bayless to keep trashing him every single day when Michael Jordan is mentioned. Because every time you mention Scottie Pippen, it's gonna be Michael Jordan mentioned somewhere. So I mean, it's very very upsetting to see a guy who is a certified Hall of Famer go down like that, and considering the fact that this guy has achieved a lot when he's playing, so he doesn't have to look for infamy because he's loved by everyone. But if that's the route he's looking to make himself marketable and relevant, bro, it's not gonna last long. It's gonna last for a short while, but people are not gonna like him anyway. So yeah.
I don't know. He was calling Jordan selfish. I think it was last week for leaving the team to play baseball. And I was actually waiting for Jordan. I don't know if Jordan responded to that yet. I was actually waiting for to see what Jordan will
Jordan
say.
doesn't. Yeah, Jordan does not respond to such. He already released the Last Dance, so that's the last response Scottie Pippen had to get because the whole Last Dance was Michael Jordan, which was only tailored for Michael Jordan. So he threw
Yeah.
everybody like Scottie Pippen through the whole documentary series. He threw them under the bus. So whatever Scottie Pippen has to say now doesn't change the fact that it's out there. The whole world knows it. Michael Jordan doesn't see you like okay. As much as he played together with him, and you see these comments that he's making. He took shots at KD. I mean, he called Phil Jackson a racist just because he played. Tony Kukoc instead of
Yeah,
him late in the game. I
that
mean,
was so unnecessary.
there
Yeah.
was it was so necessary. I mean, we talked about it with Moses, right? Moses, are you still there? We talked about this. I mean, it's upsetting. It's upsetting for an all-time great to go out like that.
I feel like do you do you, do you think KD will like go into the media after when he retires or something? Because KD is the kind of person who will do the same thing Scott is doing. I think in future he speaks his mind. He
Okay,
doesn't care. He doesn't like any. He doesn't want to be liked.
yo, BC and Moses. Let me just ask. Let me just give you a statement that you can just think about moving forward. And this is with reference to NBA media networks, Fox Sports, ESPN, those two major networks, right?
Yeah.
So let me just say this start. Let me just go ahead with the Shannon Sharp versus KD situation because that's the situation that I saw, right? So Shannon Sharp was quoted in Undisputed when he mentioned a certain quote that purportedly KD mentioned when they say so. KD was quoted saying, "KD, I beat okay. LeBron is compared to the goat, and I beat the goat two times in the finals. What does that make me?" So it appears that that quote was fake, and Katie went on to Twitter and asked, and he went on to Twitter and asked Shannon Sharp, "Why are you lying on national television?" So when he said that, and Shannon Sharp, he tried to, rebuttal with KD, but KD wasn't having it. He made sure he told Shannon Sharp that was a lie, and Shannon Sharp couldn't take all the heat and it drew a lot of attention until Shannon Sharp blocked KD. And we also have reports that when Skip Bayless tried to throw some slight at Damian Lillard actually called in and asked Shannon Sharp, I know no Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless to stop talking about him. There's that situation. Let me just use those two situations, right? This tells me that there's a disconnect between the NBA media and the NBA players. If there's a disconnect between the NBA media and the NBA players, that means these guys are not resonating on the same page because these guys just take everything out of proportion and try to concoct narratives to confuse the casual fans, right? So I feel like guys like Stephen A. Smith and Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman in that ESPN group, Fast Take. Then we got Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, that whole Fox thing. These guys try to speak to the casual fan who can take and eat up these narratives and take them as the truth. Skip Bayless has made a career slighting LeBron James. There's this time that the reason why this thing sparked me. This play Giannis did. He blocked a shot the same way LeBron James blocked a shot, right? So when Giannis pulled off that historic block, I went and saw Skip Bayless right. That block doesn't mean anything. It actually That block doesn't mean anything, and it actually is a block that is way better than the block that LeBron James made in the 2016 NBA Finals in Game Seven. So you can see like the way the media works. They either love you or hate you, and they're willing to spread out lies to the casual fan to spin a narrative. And that's why a guy like KD gets very irate when the NBA media misquotes the situation. There's this time KD was quoted saying, "A reporter will come into the locker room, just look at players, won't talk to players, go back and write a story, publish it." This is a problem, right? What you guys have to say? I've been talking for a while. You guys,
Yeah,
Moses,
for me,
BC.
it's simple as the NBA players currently they do not respect the NBA media. There's no respect there. They're kind of looking at these guys and they're like, you guys are doing the most for the hot takes, for the headlines, lying on us, kind of making us villains one day, making us heroes the next. They're kind of looking at NBA media and they're like, you guys are just toxic and there's no respect, to put it just bluntly. And we're kind of seeing like Dame Lillard calling in and telling Skip Bayless to not talk about him ever again, stuff like that. And I feel like that's those are the same sentiments shared by a lot of other players. They're looking at NBA media, they're like, you guys, you're just, all that matters to you is not the truth, it's just who's going to say the most controversial thing, the first one to say the most controversial thing, who's going to get clicks, who's going to watch your show. You're just looking for guys to watch your show to get the most clicks and all of that, not actually covering the sport and covering the truth and covering these players in their true lights. So for right now in
I mean,
2021, the players have had enough, and they don't really care about NBA media, and they don't want to. They don't really see these guys as their allies, and there's kind of they don't really there's no longer that respect that was there before.
yeah, true. BC, what you gotta say about that?
Yeah, man. What can I say, man? Like, uh, these guys, they just want the more. There's so much competition with media covering the NBA that they just want the opinion with the most views, the opinion that will gain the most clicks. That's why they use the names like someone of Kevin Durant. He takes the bait so easily, so, and it just makes them so giddy, like to see these players respond to them like that. And I feel like when you're an athlete, I haven't played like at the top level, but I've played and I've been an athlete, and people just as an athlete, you want people to understand that you're there. You showed up and you gave you put your body on the line. It takes a lot of effort to play that game. You did your best. Sometimes your best is not good enough, and that's that. But then when the media, you try make coming up with these narratives, oh, maybe you just weren't into it, maybe that day you just weren't you just weren't good enough and things like that. I think it's really hurtful to the athletes that actually come there every day and they do their best. You see them doing their best. Like sometimes your best is not good enough, and really that's all there is to it. You can't say things like KD doesn't make his teammates better. Like, come on, man. Like, there's no most of these guys in the media. They have no empathy towards the players actually playing, and that's why former NBA players like
Kwame
maybe
Brown.
I like Charles Barkley. He's a bit more impartial. I don't know why I don't like seeing Shaq on TV. He's always talking about his rings. He has no respect for anyone who hasn't won a ring or something. I don't know. But it's become all about views and there's no empathy towards the players playing today. People saying they're soft, they don't feel like playing, things like that. I don't know, man. There's no empathy for the players.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was so bad for a guy like Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown was drafted in a 2001 NBA draft. He was drafted number one overall over guys like Tyson Chandler and Paul Gasol. Okay, he had a decent career. He didn't live up to the expectation that the media set him, but he lived up to his own expectation, his abilities. So I don't know if you guys have noticed that Kwame Brown blew up because there was some remarks that were made by Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes in the show All the Smoke that woke up Kwame Brown, and Kwame Brown just came in and called out these media houses for what they really are, because you see the disingenuity. These guys in the media, they'll come in, they'll spin a narrative, they'll concoct lies just for profit. That's what I can say. They rather settle for the infamy and spread propaganda for profit, just to bring in more money for ESPN, for Fox Sports, for Turner Sports, for AT&T. They will do whatever it takes. They would rather slander a LeBron James. They would rather slander a Kevin Durant. They'll slight a guy like Damian Lillard just to get clicks, and that's the reason why NBA media keeps losing its edge and its marketability, because they keep on forcing these guys like Stephen A. Smith to keep apologizing every time they made a statement that made money, but in the long run it ended up hurting like a guy like Stephen A. Smith credibility and reputation, when he has to go back on his statements. Like you force him to apologize for this statement, although they made money with that statement, they make him apologize, so they keep backtracking just for profit. So that's the problem I have with this media, and also this. I mean, this spin of lies. Actually, these days I never watch Undisputed, and I never watch Fast Take because I just know they're just full of crap. I rather watch the game and I watch the post game for the players when they speak. I'd rather watch that. So
That's
that's what I
fine.
say about. That's what I gotta say about that.
Yeah, I never watch Undisputed anymore too. I unsubscribed from them. I think before this series started. Undisputed and First Take.
Yeah, true.
There's so
Never
much
watch those
drama.
things.
It's so they're
Moses,
so
what you gotta
stupid.
say about these things, bro? I mean,
You know,
why
for
watch
me,
Undisputed?
I stopped watching a lot of those shows. I kind of still watch The Jump once in a while on YouTube, but other than that, yeah, I'm also on the same wavelength. I do not watch. I do not watch those shows.
If you
Un-
want comedy, you
Unsubscribe
can
from their
follow.
channels.
If you want comedy, you can follow Skip on Twitter. He always changes his opinion every minute. I don't know. It's so silly. I find
He
it
was
so
called out
silly.
by I mean, Skip. Shannon Sharp got caught in a lie when he lied about KD. It hurt his credibility. I wouldn't listen to Skip Skip Bayless. I mean, I wouldn't listen to that guy if it was the last guy I would listen to. I would never listen to Undisputed. I actually unsubscribe to those channels because they spread propaganda for profit, and I don't like that. I actually don't like them. I mean, one thing you can hear Stephen A. Smith say, Kyrie Irving's should retire because he didn't play 5 games. Then on the
Yeah.
other end, you say, "Oh, Kyrie Irving is the best point guard. He's a top 5 point guard in this league." I mean, there was so much backtracking, back and forth, back and forth. It's too much. I can't listen to that.
So
It's just too.
reactionary. Two
Yeah.
years ago,
So
a friend of
I
mine was
don't.
telling me 2 years ago, a friend of mine was telling me, like Max Kellerman, he's too good to be associated even with Stephen A. Smith. And like I'll come back after 5 years and I'll tell him Max Kellerman has degraded into another Stephen A. Smith. And I think Max is getting there because back then he used to be so good, he used to be so impartial. He has no time for, I don't know, views or clicks or drama. But right now, man, that's Max and Stephen A. I know, it's just a silly show right now. Nobody takes Max seriously
I mean,
anymore.
yeah. I mean, look, BC. Let me just tell you one thing from for a fact, right? These guys badmouthed KD when he went to Golden State. Everybody badmouthed KD. Stephen A. Smith did it. Max Kellerman did it. They called it the weakest move. But when the time KD went to First Take, you remember that episode? It was legendary. All of them kept quiet. They were pandering to KD. They never wanted to upset him. They were not even saying the things that they said when he was not in the studio. They were like pandering to him. I mean, it was just so sad to watch how these guys, coil their tails back. They don't want to say what they said when this guy wasn't there, but when he's there in your face and you can't say it, they can't say it. I mean, it's so disingenuous at this point. So it just showed me NBA media they just do it for clicks and views and the money because more clicks equals more money and profit. So I lost
Mm.
all credibility on Max Kellerman on that, and also Stephen A. Smith. I'll never watch those guys ever. Maybe in memes. Maybe when I see a meme is made for Stephen A. Smith, that's the time I'll watch it.
Cool. Yo, anyway, bro, I'm about to watch this football game, England. But to close
Football.
out,
Okay.
yeah, it's five
Oh,
minutes
just
away.
just wait. Oh, to close out. What's your prediction on game two? Before you exit the stream. What do you think about game two?
Suns will definitely win game two, man. Mike will get it right, but not early enough. PJ Tucker will get minutes. He shouldn't, but he will. And I feel Suns will win game two, and Bucks will definitely win game three, and we'll see how it goes from there, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us on the. Hey, thanks for joining us on the stream, bro. It's highly appreciated. You're welcome. I'll be doing Okay, so I'll be doing 2 streams. There's this stream in the morning I did with my friend. he's in California. I hopped on into his stream right after the game, and I also have this stream that I also do for you guys. So, yo, BC, you're free to join. I'll be dropping the link. Make sure to leave me. Oh, just make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll make sure to send you everything that you need for the next stream. So just make sure to follow me on Twitter. It's at Dennis
Yeah.
Nderitu. It's there on my channel. Just make sure to also subscribe to the channel. And yeah, man, just make sure you DM me so that I'll make sure you get notified on every stream that I'll be doing, so that you can come onto the panel. We chop it up a bit. So I'll be doing streams for this final. So make sure to come to the next one. So
Cool, man.
yeah, bro. Yeah, you're free to you're free to exit the stream. I don't have
I
anything
have a
more to
question, man.
say.
I have a question. Like,
Okay.
I haven't been following it too much, but I hear the Lakers are in for DeRozan, and they may be in for Damian Lillard. What do you think?
Okay, I mentioned this early in a previous stream we had with Moses. I feel like the whole Damian Lillard situation is a pipe dream. I feel that's not gonna happen because Damian Lillard is guaranteed 227 million by the Portland Trailblazers. There's this point in the last
Wow.
2 years of his contract, that guy's going to be earning 50 million every season in the last 2 years of his contract. So if you tell me that Damian Lillard is going to go to the Lakers, that means the Lakers are going to pay a luxury tax of what 100 million or even more just to keep that guy on the roster, and it's gonna go to and their bench is gonna take a huge hit because they have to pay AD, they gotta pay
True.
LeBron, they gotta pay Dame, they gotta pay all these role players to play. So I don't feel like that's a pipe dream. That's not gonna happen. And also, Dame Lillard is loyal to the Blazers, so any trade that's gonna be made, he's not gonna like it. And he has a lot of say in it. He's an all-star, so he can be like, no, don't trade me. He can do, I don't know if he has that power to say don't trade me, but franchises do whatever they do, but he's not gonna go there. And DeRozan, I don't know what the Lakers are getting from DeRozan. They already got AD and LeBron, so, and also they're supposed to sign Dennis Schroeder to a max deal. They also got Kyle Kuzma, maybe. I'm not sure what they're getting from DeRozan because DeRozan has regressed. So DeRozan, I don't see anything getting there. So the only thing I can see the Lakers doing is trading Kyle Kuzma and letting some few role players go. But DeRozan and Damian Lillard, I don't think the Lakers are targeting them at all. So that's what I gotta say.
Cool. Because I don't think DeRozan. I don't get DeRozan's role in the team right now.
Yeah, true.
Maybe they feel like they can compete with the Brooklyn next year or something. I don't know.
No, it doesn't. Okay, it's not okay. DeRozan, where's okay? There's no need for a DeRozan when you already signed a Kyle Kuzma. I don't see that reason why DeRozan will go to the Lakers to play a third fiddle to LeBron and AD. I don't see that happening. So Damian Lillard not happening at all. The Lakers are not gonna pay 100 million in luxury tax just to keep that guy on the roster. So that's not gonna happen.
Okay, thanks, man. I am
Yeah, true. Make
officially
sure to
out. I
yeah,
already
cool.
follow you,
Subscribe
bro.
to the channel.
Yeah,
Oh, make sure to send me a DM. Make sure to send me a DM. I'll make sure to give you the direct link to the stream the next time we go live. So yeah, man, do all that great stuff.
cool.
All right, Moses, what's up?
Yeah. So for me also, I'd like to predict the next game two.
Okay.
We're ending. So for me, game two, I see the Bucks adjusting. They're definitely going to adjust in game two, and Giannis isn't going to have another 20-point kind of dad. He's going to come out and he's going to be
Yeah.
like, he's gotten all his rustiness out. So I don't see the Suns taking game two. This is going to be a Bucks win. They're going to adjust, and the Suns aren't going to do. I think the Suns are going to come out and try and do the same thing that they were doing in game one, and in game two it won't work because yeah, basically what we talked about. And the Bucks adjusting, Mike Buden also adjusting, probably Giannis getting a lot of minutes at the five, and yeah, the Bucks for game two.
I also agree with you. I just feel like the Bucks have what it takes to tie up the series, and also yeah, I just feel like they're gonna do it. I mean, these Bucks are very unpredictable. Chris Middleton can come in and pull off a historic performance the way he did the Hawks series. I also believe in Drew Holiday. I feel like Drew Holiday is that guy. I feel like he can make the adjustments. He can blend in with what they saw when they go back and look at film. So that's what I gotta say. And also, I'm also on another stream. I posted a video earlier to my channel. I was in this uh, another good friend of mine. I was in his live stream last year, even before I started commentary. He's called Josh Carson JC3. He's a guy who lives in California, USA, and I popped out to his stream right after the game. I mean, the game just happened. Like, I just watched the whole game. Then he had the stream about 30 minutes later. So I hopped on there. We chopped it up a bit. That was early in the morning, like seven a.m. in the morning. So I
Wow.
went
Wow.
in there. Then I snipped a piece of that stream where I was talking. Then I pasted it on my channel. And yeah, so I'll be doing two streams. So there's that. I'll be hopping onto his stream, and also we'll just be reconvening here on my channel, and I will continue from there. So yeah,
Okay.
there are two
Okay.
streams. It's the finals. It's the finals.
Yeah, you have to be active. I understand. This is like peak stream time, peak NBA time for like yeah.
I'm also looking for them numbers. I'm very sure. I'm also
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
from them numbers. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
you
mean,
have to put in the work. You definitely have to put in the work.
I was actually on
Yeah.
his stream. Okay, okay, this guy. I'll send you a DM of the stream that I was in last year. I'll send you a WhatsApp
Yeah.
message on a WhatsApp so you can see what we were doing last year. And yeah, I
Okay.
mean, he's the guy who inspired me on doing this stuff. So I just want to wrap it up, and I'm about to calm down. So any closing remarks that you got to say before we end this stuff right now?
Yeah, yeah. So, closing remarks. I'd just like to say, I had fun today. The stream was great. It was great to chop it up with somebody because I'm not in any other stream. So, kind of, this is me being in your channel is like me just talking about the finals for the first time to like anybody. So, I'm looking forward to game two. Can't wait for the next stream. It's been a really unpredictable finals. Who knew we'd be getting the Bucks versus the Suns? So yeah, looking forward to game two, and yeah, I'll definitely be available, and we can chop it up once again.
That's great. You're welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome to the channel. Yeah, man. I mean, all that great stuff. So I'm pretty happy. Oh, you actually. Oh, earlier. Okay. We'll just talk on DM. So let me just
okay,
calm
no
down a
problem.
bit. Ending the stream right now.
Okay,
So yeah, man.
okay.
Peace out. Have a great day. Peace out. Have a great day. Make sure to take care of yourself. Wear a mask. Sanitize.
Yeah, yeah. Till next time.
Till next time, bro. Thanks, bro.
No problem. No problem.
So I'm ending the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in to this live broadcast. And those who are Moses and BC, they joined the stream. I'm so happy. So if you guys want to join the stream, just make sure to, check the comments. I've put it on the stream. Just make sure to log in. I'll put you on the stream and just chop it up. You just talk about basketball. So that's what I gotta say, man. If you guys like the stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notification posts, smash the like button, comment what you think in the comments section down below. And it's been your boy, Dennis Nderitu, live at Nderitu Basketball HQ. Follow me on my social media. I'm active on Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, man. Do all that great stuff, man. And I'm out. Peace.